took Texas, I think it was 3 years to get it done. And we've got it done in just record months. So I know you've put up with, thank you. We got a lot of people out here wanting to help you guys recover, and we should be done with the structural at the end of September, and so that will mean that a lot of that truck traffic you're having to navigate around will be out of your way. It will still be out there because there's still work to do after we get the structural off the ground, but we'll have some more open roadways for you here pretty soon moving into the fall. The second mission, we had a huge help with FEMA in meeting the housing needs of the community, so thank you, Sam, and your team for doing that. And it's been a huge success, and we continue to work with options to make sure people have short and intermediate housing options until you fully recover. And then with water restoration, we've been working closely with Paradise Irrigation District, Kevin Phillips. We've got technical specialists and public assistance subject matter experts, both at the federal and state level, working closely with Kevin and his team to ensure the sustainability and the recovery of your water system. The other thing we want to talk about that's kind of related to debris, but it's a completely different issue, is the tree removal process. So Casey touched on that a little bit. We've got a lot of trees we're going to have to deal with. So after we get debris going and most of that off the ground, we're going to start and stand up a tree removal program. Now, what that's going to mean is you're going to have more contracted people out here working on the removal of trees so that you can get back on your property. And that's still in the formative stages, but it's going to look a little bit like the debris removal process. So we will have contractors. You will be looking at trucks to help us get rid of those trees and to take care of the tree bodies, as I like to refer to them. But that'll be temporary. And I just ask for your patience as we work through standing up that program and moving forward with getting those trees off your property so you can get back home. But remember, it's temporary. Recovery's long, and it can be really inconvenient. But we really, really thank you for your patience. And if you ever have any questions for us regarding our operations in the field, we'll have contact information for you back at our table. I'll be able to share my information. And also past the more obvious recovery efforts, we do have a long-term recovery team working with your local government so that we can make sure that some of those other less obvious needs are met in the community to stand back up local government and ensure that your new Paradise is resilient but just as beautiful as it was before the disaster. Thank you for your time tonight.
Good evening. First of all, I want to say to the community, thank you for your patience. We are working diligently to get your water system back up and potable. We know it's not going as fast as everybody would like. It's not going fast as we would like. But we appreciate your patience, and we feel like we're finally at the point where we're getting to make progress to get people back to clean water. The first and most important thing to us is your guys' health and safety. And that's why it's taking so long, is because that is our number one goal, is to make sure when we release that advisory on your guys' water, that we are 100% confident that it is safe to drink and go back to normal, just like before the fire. So I want to cover three things: the recovery plan, the interim water service, and then our going forward plan. So the recovery plan, it's down to where it's becoming mechanical for us. So we've taken a long time to get the system back up and pressurized. Once we got the system up and pressurized, we found the contaminants in the water system. We had to figure out where those contaminants were coming from and how they were moving in the system before we could create a recovery plan to lift the advisory on the standing homes that are there. So we finally got to that point where we found that the contaminants are what we call stagnated within the service lines. So once we come to your guys' home that is still standing, and we test the service line and we test the main line out in front, unless there's some other reason that we should not lift the advisory is being lifted. So right now we've lifted the advisory on 133 homes at this point, and we are testing about 30 to 50 homes a week to try to lift that advisory on those standing homes. There's two options for that. One is to stagnate your service line and not use water in your home. The other is to go and get a hose over, is what we're calling it. So we've tested a lot of the main lines, we've tested a lot of the hydrants, and we have a system where we could hook to a hydrant, hook a hose up down the street, and hook it into your house so you are not out of water. The one thing with that is it does take a little bit longer, and so if you can go without water for 5 days, it'll speed up the process for us. If that's not an option, we have another option for you, and we are going through and doing those hose overs to standing homes currently. So if you see those blue lines out in the street or on the curbs, those are ours. Those are part of our recovery plan. We are using mutual aid services coming in on a weekly basis to help us do that. And so that is where you'll see a lot of other water agencies out there that are helping us. And the progress on that is that we're bringing in people that already know water systems, that are already trained in there, so that when they hit the ground coming in, they hit the ground running. And then our recovery plan is able to ebb and flow with their services. Interim water. We offer a water source to a burnt property, but our requirement right now is that there's a backflow installed. And the reason why that is because we are trying to protect our current water system from getting contaminated from something that's on a burnt structure or a burnt lot. That burnt lot is considered contaminated. It has contaminated issues in there. So we want to make sure that our system is protected from that. So that has created a backlog of backflows being installed. But we also have gone through kind of an issue with employment and trying to get people to come up to work up here. We have successfully hired 6 employees that started Monday. That is going to speed up that process tremendously. We feel like that'll actually triple our workload to get those out there. Right now we have 462 remaining. We've put in 275. We should start seeing those go in much quicker. So we apologize for the delay. We know it's been frustrating. We've heard you, and we've gone out and got employees to get out there and do that for you. We also have been using the Alliance for Workforce Development to help us with that, and we really appreciate the services that they've done. And then moving forward, we're in the process of working with the county, with Cal Water, with the groundwater users in Butte County to make an intertie to Chico to try to keep PID within local control of Paradise. Right now, what we have is we have a business that has great water source, a great treatment plant, but we want to make sure right now that we don't have the customer base to sustain the expenses to maintain the water system. So we're looking outside to try to find a different customer base to allow us to be stable so that we're here through this rebuild. And when you come back to rebuild your house, PID is the same as it was before the fire. So you still have control over it, you still have your board members, and you still have control over your rates. So that's what we're doing moving forward. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Janice Hanna from Del Oro Water. Jim Roberts, our Assistant Superintendent, is here with me to answer questions for our Magalia and Lime Saddle customers. Del Oro has continued to serve 1,800 customers in our service area outside the burn area. In the meantime, for the burn area, we have been testing for VOCs. To date, we have tested 168, and we have close to 30 service orders out there for testing to be completed. These are for vacant lots that you cannot get a meter from us until your service line has been tested and there are no VOCs in the system. This has been an ongoing process. We'll continue to go along with that. We also have established our phase 2 testing, in which we will go to each district and do a percentage of occupied homes, and it'll be an ongoing phase 2 testing, where it is going to be random and voluntary, and we will be testing occupied homes to be sure that no VOCs are in your water system. This is being directed to us by the state of California Water Board, and that we are under their jurisdiction, and we are following their protocol and what they are telling us to do. We really did not lose any major assets. We have 2 booster pumps that just came back on in our Magalia area. And in the next 2 weeks, our intertie pump between PID and Del Oro will be up and running. So we are here to answer any questions for you after the meeting. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Dan Blair with PG&E here in Butte County. Thank you for the opportunity to update you on the progress the company's made. So PG&E is committed to helping Butte County and Paradise rebuild in a way that is safe, smart, and forward-looking and reflects the values and needs of your communities. This has been the focus of the long-term rebuild effort that is now underway, especially as we have already begun to underground electric lines in Paradise, as we announced in May. We remain focused on supporting our customers and communities impacted by wildfires and helping you recover and rebuild. To do this, we created a community rebuild team so we can process applications for power and natural gas for rebuilt structures in a timely manner. Our goal is to ensure that new gas and electric service can get checked off your list quickly. Here's where we stand with our restoration progress. We've been undergrounding power lines in various parts of town, including Erica Drive and a portion of Black Olive Drive. We're actively working to underground power lines and in some cases replace underground natural gas lines on Almond Street, Sunset Drive, Indian Drive, and Castle and Cliff. We expect to complete about 23 miles of undergrounding this year. Our service planning and design department has received a total of 1,304 applications for service in the Campfire area, showing that the rebuilding phase is ramping up. We understand that the rebuilding in the communities is a long process, and I want to be clear that the electric overhead we have in place now in Paradise is temporary, however, is built to our high safety standards to allow electric and gas service to be restored to those buildings that can take service. PG&E is ready to help customers who are rebuilding and need temporary power for construction and later permanent power and natural gas service. We're waiving the connection fees normally charged by PG&E for temporary power connections. Customers will still need to apply to PG&E, obtain all necessary permits and inspection certifications from the town or the county, depending on your jurisdiction, and provide us with their electric load data, install their own short temporary pole and electric panel. Before PG&E can provide temporary power, the customers must submit an application to PG&E and have for a temporary power permit from the town or the county. Applying with PG&E can be done in 2 ways. You can either do it online, the website's up there, pge.com/CCO, or by calling the number on the screen. You can visit the town or county's website for information on how to obtain the temporary power permit. When customers are ready to start building and have approved building plans from the town or from the county, PG&E asks that they apply for permanent power and natural gas. For those with a modular home or mobile home delivered, it's recommended to apply for PG&E for service once you have made the purchase. I want to close by saying that we're fully committed to working with the community to rebuild our infrastructure in a way that reflects the future needs of the town of Paradise. We know those plans will take time to develop, and we're here to partner with you on what permanent infrastructure looks like when you're ready. Thank you.
Good evening, Jim Burdessa with Comcast. I also have Brandon Stokes with Comcast in the back. Quick update, Comcast continues his rebuild effort in the town. Good news, we have the majority of the network already built out, waiting for residents to come back home. We're taking service requests on a daily basis. So feel free, at the end of the evening, we're over here to the right and back with any questions or concerns that you have with Comcast. Feel free to answer your questions. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Matt Ball. I'm the manager for Butte County Mosquito and Vector Control. Why am I here? I'm here to keep you guys safe from mosquitoes that could be breeding on your property or some of the burnt out property. So I will start off with good news. There's no West Nile virus in the Ridge or in the Campfire burn scar as of right now. We've been testing your mosquitoes up here more so than we ever have before. We have taken a photograph of every burned property and have located every single swimming pool on those photographs and have inspected and treated every one of those swimming pools. So we've made rapid progress and we moved around the Campfire burn scar rapidly. I just went to my property. Most of you may know I lived in Magalia for 18 years. My lot is finally cleaned and I saw a bunch of potential mosquito breeding sources finally removed. What did I find on my burnt out property? Now that it's clean, a 4-inch pipe where it went from my house into my septic tank. I have a septic tank like everybody else up here has, so I still am asking for your help to locate potential mosquito breeding sources. You guys helped our district out by being our eyes and ears early in the spring. I'm asking for your help now because the mosquitoes that are out now are the ones that can carry West Nile, where the ones in the spring that you called me about weren't the ones that can carry West Nile virus. Help me help you by finding mosquitoes. Help me help you by wearing your repellent. Please come visit us at our booth back there. We have some free repellent to give out tonight, albeit probably not enough for this room. If you have a mosquito issue or you have a question about mosquitoes, you can call our friendly staff, and we're answering service requests in about a 48-hour turnaround right now. So if you want to see your tax dollars rapidly at work, give us a call. We'll be out there real quick. So with that, thank you. It's been an honor to have you guys listen to me tonight.
Good evening. I'm Michelle John, the superintendent for Paradise Unified School District. I do have a short PowerPoint that is supposed to be ready. And Tom Taylor, if you will come up and join me, my assistant superintendent. So I just wanted everyone to know that Paradise Unified is moving forward. We are bringing all of our kids back up to the Ridge. We are very excited. Our classrooms and our hearts are open. We have been serving students on the Ridge since 1938, and we're ready to go again. So do we have, okay. So, but we also know that we don't heal in isolation, but we heal as a community. So we are joining our schools together. We lost 4 of our schools, and we have a couple more that were damaged that are not at a place that can be repaired as of yet. So we're opening up 4 campuses. And Paradise Elementary and Ponderosa are now being called Paradise Ridge Elementary. This is temporary, and they will be at Paradise Intermediate School. And if you've driven by there in the last couple days, you can see that it's being totally repainted and re-landscaped, and new furniture has arrived. And we received a large grant from the State Superintendent of Schools. So we have technology arriving, and we will be the premier district in probably all of the North State. Also, Paradise Intermediate and Paradise High School will be on the same campus. That's what we call a rural school model. It is 7th through 12th grade, and the 7th grade has its own corner of the high school campus. Pine Ridge and Ridgeview are not really on the same campus. For those of you that have been around for a while, you'll remember when we had the old Mountain Ridge School. And Ridgeview now has 7 classrooms at the old Mountain Ridge. It's 2 separate addresses, 2 separate entrances, exits, 2 offices. So that will work out very well. And Cedarwood also has a special education preschool. Most of our campuses are going to be full, we expect. We expect approximately 1,200 kids to come back up to the Ridge from what we've heard, what we can tell. Yeah. Thank you. We do know that in order for our vibrant community to return, we need our families back and we need our kids, and we're working really hard on that. So with that, we put a couple of pictures in. I wanted to show you some of the, we do have one more. We wanted to talk we're talking about with our staff this year, with our kids, we are bringing in extra counselors. Most of our schools will have 2 counselors at each site with the help of Butte County Office of Education, the help of Paradise Unified, and Youth for Change. It's a multi-agency kind of commitment. But we do know that resilience is when you can embody a sense of self-care and wellness and are able to pass on your knowledge of recovery, kindness, insight, and awareness to others. And that's what we'll be working on this year with our staff and our students. So with that, I'm going to let Tom talk to you about what's been going on at all of our plants that we're getting ready to open up.
I first want to start off by saying thank you to the community and everybody that's reached out to us. We estimate that there's been about 10,000 hours put into our schools from volunteers. And there's no doubt that we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for all of that support. And not to mention the amazing staff that's just been working super hard through the summer. So Mrs. John was mentioning that we have 4 campuses. The one up on the left is Paradise Junior Senior High School. And we had a group there this week in Rotary and Love Paradise? Okay. And supporting us. And we had a group also from the Samaritan's Purse, Hope Church, just reaching out. They had hundreds of people coming to the site at the high school. Paradise Ridge Elementary, that is over on Recreation Drive. That's where we're going to have what used to be Ponderosa and Paradise Elementary. I encourage you to go take a look at it. It's being painted, like Mrs. John said. It looks fantastic. Once again, there's been thousands of people or 1,000 of hours put into that school and just preparing it. Went by there today, and they had boxes just lined up of new furniture, and thank goodness the company's putting that together for us. So, next one. Okay, I'll start with the one on the right, and maybe the other one will show up. Cedarwood. We anticipate that Cedarwood is probably going to be our largest elementary school this year, TK through 6th grade. Looking forward, we expect that there'll be about 270 students out there this year. So very excited about that. So Pine Ridge and Ridgeview, the old Mountain Ridge campus and Pine Ridge actually are back to back, like Mrs. John said. And Ridgeview will be on the Mountain Ridge side of it, completely separated and fenced. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of outreach from those kids supporting our elementary kids, and I think it's going to actually be a wonderful thing. I don't think they're going to want them to leave once they get there. And then we have Pine Ridge, which is the school that we did have damage there, but with the support of our local government and state, we were able to get it cleaned up and ready to go. So, next slide. Some pictures of the work going on. The left one there, that is the high school. Once again, we had a group that came in. That was part of Hope Church and Samaritan's Purse, where they came in and they actually painted classrooms, cleaned classrooms, and cleaned the campus. On the right-hand side there, I believe, that's the high school one. Okay, another one of the high school. So, excellent. That is actually the intermediate school on the left-hand side, the high school on the right. Just once again, the work that's going on there, showing all the support that's happening. Our schools are going to be in better shape than I think we've ever had them in many years. It's kind of an amazing thing. So, all right. On the left-hand side, we have the intermediate school. The middle is the locker room at the high school, and a group that came in and was getting the library ready at Paradise Intermediate School. So, once again, just tremendous amounts of support. All right. Yeah, this was at the intermediate school. I believe it was this last weekend. A group of Rotarians and local community members just reaching out. I mean, I didn't count how many people were there, but they were there a good portion of the day. So you can imagine just the labor hours that went into that. So,
One back. You probably can't see in this one picture, but on the bottom left-hand corner is former Superintendent Rick Landis. They're working on the schools, and then a Rotarian, Bob DiPietro, who lives in Chico now, who was a former board member coming back. So like Tom said, we could not have done this without the support of the entire community and the hundreds of thousands of hours of volunteers that we've had. So we want to thank everyone so much for welcoming our kids back. They're excited to be here. If you need a shot in the arm about what Paradise is and can be again, stop by the high school. It's beaming with kids and sports. The football team just came off of a week camp, and they are practicing each and every day, and it's really an exciting place to be right now. So thank you very much, and we will be out there afterwards. Pardon? August 23rd, I believe. Is that a Friday?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's August 23rd is opening night.
Behind you see the billboards that are going to be popping up throughout Butte County, because one of the things that we are doing, we heard very loudly from our community, is or people that are outside of our community, but they're still our people. And in Orville, Durham, and Chico, we are actually providing transportation for those students to come back up the ridge. So, thank you.
Hello, I am Molly Jolliffe with Butte Glen 211, and I also have a PowerPoint, but I think I'm going to condense it just a little bit for the sake of time. So if we can actually go to slide 5, if possible. So if you're unfamiliar with us, we are a nonprofit that provides information about resources available to help you recover. So you can connect with us 3 ways. That 3-digit phone number, 211, pretty easy to remember. It's available 24/7. If you were outside of Butte County, that back line up there can get you to us. We are also available by text, so same thing. If you need resource information and you don't like talking on the phone, we're available by text Monday through Friday at the times up there, and all of our resources are available online as well. On the next slide, so we have responded to 17,000 individual calls and texts from survivors, and we've made about 20,000 referrals to various services. So we just aim to be an open resource available 24/7 to get you to the information that's available to help you recover. So we'll be outside if you have any questions. But yeah, we're here if you need us. Thank you.
Whoops. Excuse us while we get settled. Good evening, Monica Nolan, Paradise Ridge Chamber of Commerce. Shortly after the Camp Fire, we were adopted by the Chico Chamber of Commerce and spent several months down in Chico, but as of April 15th, we are back in Paradise at 6161 Clark Road, sharing office space and a very rewarding partnership with the Paradise Association of Realtors. This partnership allows us extra office space and something we're calling Ridge Workspace. We're in soft rollout at this moment, but have actually had several contractors and other rebuild partners using this extra office space, and that is available to any member of the Chamber of Commerce or the Association of Realtors or somebody who is actively working with the community on the rebuild. So please reach out to us for that. Our membership is healthy. We thank you so much for either joining the chamber or maintaining your membership, and we have welcomed many, many rebuild partners. Our contractors right now are buying into the community through chamber membership, and we appreciate that so much. Another thing that occurred after the Camp Fire was a closer relationship with our other economic development partners in the county, including the Small Business Development Center, which is available in the Paradise Ridge Chamber of Commerce for one-on-one counseling. Their message to you is, don't wait until you have a problem to make a plan. They're available to you anytime to tweak your business plan and help you pivot to address this different economy. We have been with these partners I just mentioned, actively reaching out to our businesses through a Together We Rise business walk campaign, where we have, back in April, attempted to visit every open business on the Ridge. We're planning to do these visits quarterly, not to visit every business quarterly, but we are revisiting those businesses that have expressed a need to be visited. So, but you don't need to wait for a walk to reach out to us. I'd like to now mention this guide that we've produced. It was released in June. There are some available in the lobby at the chamber table, and we will be reissuing this guide with our membership directory in the back in October. We produced 5,000 of these and have probably about 200 left, so we're quite pleased with that. We are still actively engaged in chamber networking events, paradisechamber.com or Facebook. We are having a ribbon cutting just about every week, at least one, and we're just not overthinking those these days. If you want us there with the scissors and the ribbon, call us up and we'll come out, whether you want a little promo picture or something bigger, but don't wait. We participated with some community partners in staging the Home Builders Resource Expo in June at the Silver Dollar Fairgrounds. That was a tremendous success, so look for more information on a repeat event in January. Community events are hugely important to any community, but perhaps ours in particular. So the Chamber has elected to go forward with all of our traditional events. I cannot thank all of you enough who came out to Party in the Park, because we staged that event with full faith that you would do so, but you blew our minds. So thank you so much. We also had a little bonus Party in the Park event. The Air Force Band of the Golden West reached out to us and offered to play for us, and that was just absolutely fantastic. They offered to come back next year, so we want to make that even bigger. Moving on to Johnny Appleseed Days, that is well in the works. We ordered the billboards today. October 5th and 6th at Terry Ash Park. The games survived. We just learned I need to find some paddocks for them because those little carnival games booths did not, but we'll work it out. So Johnny comes to our community from Paradise with Love this year, and I want to thank Lori Noble for expressing that we really need to reach out to our fellow communities and say thank you for taking us in. So we have some surprises in store. Things will be both different and the same, just like everything these days. So please plan on coming. And we have moved up our installation and community awards dinner to December this year. So look for an event on December 5th. Save the date, please. One last note about the events is they are a community effort. Lots and lots of different volunteers and different agencies help with those events. But those who have really been bringing it, I've got to say, are the Campfire Zone captains. Thank you so much. We cannot rebuild this community without you. You guys rock. And last but not least, November 8th, 2019 is on the horizon. And to that effect, there is a committee formed to make plans. So I want to make sure that everyone is part of the process, that this is something you're doing with us and that we're not doing to you. So please reach out. You can give me a call and I can disseminate the information to the committee at paradisechamber.com, Monica at paradisechamber.com. I have a table in the back. And the chamber is still in soft opening stage. We've had a series of debacles with trying to obtain furniture, but we welcome you anyway, as long as we are open, which is can be sporadic. So please give us a call before you come in. We're there when you need us. Thank you.
I think I'm last, certainly least. Comment-wise, is I think that just these organizations, it's extraordinary what these representatives and what their groups are doing right now. So And I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, too. So I'm Dan Efsep. I'm the district manager for the Paradise Rec and Park District, and I think our table is on that side of the room, so please come by and visit with us. Just a few comments. By the way, our meetings, we've shifted our meeting night, so it's the second Wednesday of the month, Terry Ash Rec Center, so you're welcome to come and find out what we're doing. Like many groups, we've had challenges with staff and a fair number of creativity on trying to make things happen, and so I'm just going to give you a quick update on a few of those. Program-wise, we had a successful run of camps, summer camp that ran all the way from the end of school to just this last week. Towards the end, we had up to 30 kids participating at Terry Ash Center, so they had always smiley faces and really a lot of fun. We also hosted with a lot of partners something called Camp Courage, a 3-day camp. Ran it out of the Spring Valley for the Golden Feather Unified School District, also provided transportation. We had lunches that were provided by Paradise Unified, and an excellent program of leadership development and adventure through Odyssey teams. So it was pretty extraordinary. And the Forebay Aquatic Center, I should say, as well. We're looking to build on those. We're going to add a whole bunch of things in the fall and next spring especially. So if you have instructors or ideas, please let me know. Facilities, we've done a lot of work. Our crew's done an amazing job at the Terry Ash Rec Center. It looks great. I appreciate comments that people have told me about what they've seen with our staff and how the facilities look. We've spent a lot of time on hazard tree removal, and most of our sites are clear of that, and still have some more challenges, but it looks pretty good on that. A couple of weeks ago, we completed playground reconstruction at Billy Park, and the developed areas of it look great. So it's open to the public, and we've actually seen quite a few people come out there for breaks and a little bit of a green oasis out there to spend some time in. Pools. Paradise Pool and Concow Pool are open. Got a lot of help from the fire department and also PID on getting that open, and had some busy days out there, so that's been nice to see. Events, we've had a few return. It sounds like I may need to seek some volunteer time to help build the game booths for the Johnny Appleseed that's coming up, so we may need to seek some help on that. I heard a rumor, I don't know if it's true or not, but that Chico may open an ice rink this winter. However, we are committed to bringing that back, and we'd love to have sponsors and donations and make that a regular tradition that we can bring back here. They say if you want to travel fast, travel alone. If you want to travel further, travel together. And so we reached out with a lot of partners and a lot of creative ideas. So we're pursuing a number of those things. A few weeks ago, we had all of our partners that had leases or ran programs provide an update. And there's a lot of progress doing throughout the district, from anywhere from the Honey Rod Covered Bridge to our partners at the Gold Nugget Museum. Horsemen's Association is doing an amazing job on working with us to clean up the arena. They had an event there last month. They're going to have a larger opening this fall. And so they're excited to work with us on that. We also hosted a youth services summit. So we pulled in all of the organizations that provide services to youth on Paradise and Upper Ridge. And it was eye-opening what people needed from support for their staff. And I think there's going to be some good partnerships that develop of that and better coordination between our groups. So we're excited about sharing that with you over the next few months. We are taking as an organization opportunity to look at our master management plan. We've accelerated that process. It usually would have started in 2020. We're going to start that process now with a strategic plan update and seeking input from the community on what you all need from a Parks and Rec district, facilities, programs. All of that will be considered. So we'll keep you posted, but we'll have some questionnaires and a whole process that'll kick off this later on this year and into next year. Lastly, I was just going to mention that we are working on our a number of proposals. Timing-wise wasn't the greatest. The state has a number of proposals and grant applications. We've tried to insert ourselves and insert the district into taking advantage of that. So for the last 2 weeks, we submitted probably a half dozen proposals for over $5 million on different projects, including development of the Lake Ridge Park property. So we're moving forward, and I think that you guys are here because you think that too. So appreciate you guys taking the time, and I don't know if we're kicking it over to you to kick us off to the next set.
So we're actually going to have our next presenter is Jennifer Arbuckle with Northern Recycle and Waste Services.
Sorry guys, I RSVP'd, but I just got left off. Trash is always the last thing you think of, right? So I am the Recycling and Public Education Manager for Northern Recycling and Waste Services. So what's new with us is that we were able to, with help from the county and working with the town to move around some grant funds, we're able to reopen the recycling center. It's going to be open on Fridays and Saturdays from 10 to 2. We had the grand opening this last weekend, so it'll be open moving forward. And then we were able to also get grant funds and, with help from the county, open the HHW facility, which is the Household Hazardous Waste Facility. It'll be open the first Saturday of every month from 10 to 2. So service-based, I mean, just getting that, just so you guys, it's been tough for all of us, but we're working out there with limited staff and resources. Northern is a local company. All of our staff lives here. We lost 2/3 of our employees, and all of them lost their homes. So we're doing the best we can with what we have. As far as the vegetative waste facility goes, it is a town-owned facility, and we would be happy to operate it, but that all of our programs were built into the rates. And when you lose 92% of your customers, it's really hard to rebuild these programs without the help of resources coming in. Businesses, we don't get any FEMA help, we can't. So we're doing the best we can, and I just want you to know we're here and committed to the community, and we're really trying to rebuild these programs that we all worked together to build over the last 12 years. So as little progress we can make is a good thing. So we're really happy to be here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. I was a little mixed up, so I don't have a table, but I will hold up next to the trash can, and you guys can find me. Another thing I would... Smile for the end. And just another thing to note, again, we're a small company and we're local. So when you call into our office, you're talking to the girls, our customer service girls that are right on American Way. They're really doing the best that they can. You guys seen the traffic. We're trying to get down roads and do things with just delays around every corner. So if you ever do feel like you're getting missed, we're trying to do the best we can, but just call in, let us know, and we'll get you the next day if we have to. But we're doing the best we can, again, like we all are. So, patience and working together, and we'll get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, our last presenter is going to be Congressman Doug LaMalfa.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Glad to join you up here. First, let me tell you about today for me, my involvement. We spent most of the day down in Gridley for various events there. The first one was a naturalization for new citizens of this great United States here. 15 new were sworn in down at the Gridley Library today. One from Afghanistan, several from India, and several from Mexico. So the greetings were, doing it how it should be done, So the greetings were salam, namaste, and bienvenidos. So anyway, so it was really uplifting, and what an excited bunch of people that have gone through what's not the easiest process for citizenship, and stuck it through. That's the way it should be done, and we're all very proud of them. I've seen just a tremendous amount of tons of positive comments on social media already. Let me make a couple introductions real quick. Laura from my office here, who's standing up right now. Doing a bang-up job on the ground here, keeping me informed and helping connect all the dots on what we need to help get things and keep things going for rebuilding this community. And also visiting from Washington, D.C., Haley and John Veal, paying attention back there. Yeah, you guys stand up. They're out this week from D.C. he directs our legislation, and she's my executive director on things, because they want to see firsthand what this looks like and be able to make the contacts firsthand too. So while we have the August recess, it's a great opportunity to catch up with a lot of these things as well. Also during that recess, before I forget, Monday morning at 9 a.m., we'll be having are we calling it a town hall, or are we calling it a community meeting, whatever we're calling it. We just don't want a free-for-all. We actually want it to be constructive. And so you're all invited. Come on down, and whatever we can do to help update the situation. Myself, Assemblyman Gallagher, Senator Nielsen, we're all going to be there. And a heavy topic will be the effort up here in Paradise, Magalia, Concal, Yankee Hill, et cetera. So that 9 a.m., Elks Lodge, Chico, Monday morning, okay? So y'all come. Now that said, let's review some of the things that have been happening as well. First, this great panel of folks up here. I mean, what a awesomeness. Michelle, I go back 2 months to, all the barriers are getting knocked down to getting things done around here. And one of them I think about is the high school graduation being able to be held here. That was just an awesome moment there. So thank you for, yeah. And so what our office is trying to do, as well as our state legislative colleagues, just knock down the barriers that make unnecessarily undue timelines to get things done. And so, we're seeing that with the schools, you're doing a great job of consolidating, making what you have work. I mean, that's the real pioneer spirit here. And FEMA's been great with making sure the resources are coming. Now, there's several things in process. There's been different grants, different sources of money to do different pieces of what we're doing. I'm not going to try and list them all, but there's also more we haven't been able to talk about yet that are coming as well. USDA's been a big assist as well on that. We have a real dynamo and a personal friend and a worker on that named Kim Van with USDA, and things are going to keep happening there as well as the different pieces of the puzzle come together. A few months ago, we were able to get the reimbursement from 75% to 90%, which would be a lot less burden on this area for the cleanup process of the many trucks we see going up and down the road. I was down in Oroville the other day near Highway 70, and there was a moment there was a truck going by every second. A truck, then a pickup, then a truck. Now, it doesn't do that all day long, but it shows you the enormous effort. And my understanding is we're about 2/3 of the way through with the parcel cleanup or so. And someone told me that I believe it's average 10 or 11 truckloads per parcel. So the fast math on that means about 120,000 truckloads has to be coming out of this area going north or going south. So everybody's being patient as they can. By and large, most of those drivers are good, responsible drivers. We're hearing the stories about the guys going too fast or running stop signs and a tragedy here and there. But, I think they're just busting their tails trying to make it happen too. So we're almost to that point. I still think they're on track for end of October for the truck trips, and one more phase will be behind us. So another thing that we're working on as well is that 75 to 90%. Also, Laura, help me on this one. Yes, thank you. Long day. We were able to get through in the disaster relief package of a couple months ago. Paradise would be stuck in a spot because of its population of approximately 27,000. It's a little too high to be eligible for the ability to apply for certain types of rural grants, rural loans, et cetera, through USDA. So we were able to get a provision into that disaster relief bill that allowed the U.S. Census to adjust Paradise's population down to an arbitrary number, but 5,000. And that keeps us well within the eligibility for a lot of these grants and other sources of money that will help directly with the rebuilding of what we need to do. So working with Governor Newsom's office, we got that done at the federal level. It enabled the governor to then make the declaration of the state's population. So it took a bipartisan and bi-coastal effort to get these things done. So there's more of that going on than what you hear in the news right now about all the fighting and all the political nonsense that goes on. Soon you'll see myself and Senator Feinstein are going to be pairing up to try and do a little stronger legislation on the forest clearing that needs to happen around power lines. I got a bill passed like that in 2018, but It got a little watered down in the Senate. It wasn't as effective as I wanted, or what left the House. But that said, we, that bill actually came about before the fire happened here. And so, unfortunately, we have this example of what we need to do even more on Forest Service lands. So look for that. And, Senator Feinstein's going to just get her brains beat in the urban areas from the environmental groups for trying to do anything forestry-wise. So she needs our encouragement on that. It would be just awesome to hear very positive, very encouraging comments from this community to Senator Feinstein's office as that effort goes forward. So just, a velvet touch on that would be very helpful. She's working with me because she trusts me. I haven't burned her off for some political purpose or whatever like that, because, yeah, we got plenty we can disagree on. But let's find the stuff we can agree on: forest management, water policy, other areas, and get some things done. So let's look for that to be more of a longer-term solution, to have better forest management where that interaction is with power lines. So many positive things coming together. And I see, I keep the word resilience keeps coming back as a definition of the people of this area here. It's not just a beer anymore, right? But it's really who you are, and we will keep battling and fighting for everything we can do with great people up here working on that. Your town council thinking out of the box too. I mean, you need to be able to hire people back to come up here. They need to have a place to live, and which reminds me of the other part we were doing in Gridley today. The approximately 300 FEMA trailer dwellings are coming online, and I yep. So we visited that site today, and the very first lady to move in, named Deb Edwards from Magalia area, she's single, she's alone, she was in one of the small ones, it's an 8x40, about 320, but she had it already fixed up kind of cute in there, and she had just the cutest attitude, but also the joy of being able to be in a place that she can kind of call her own, at least on this temporary basis, and she started tears coming down, and she hugged me and all that, and I fought off all my tears and stuff. But boy, what a neat thing that was to see that and see those starting to be filled now for people that have been waiting all these months. And again, the bureaucratic process isn't speedy, but I think it's been speedier than it would normally be in order to get this done. So they got a pretty nice facility down there in South Gridley, and you have one little lady who's just really, really grateful to live in this country and live with people that are giving so much and helping so much. So all these things are building on together. Town council, you're taking a bold step. You're trying to get people back in the community here. That bonus thing you're doing to try and get police officers hired up. It's real easy to lose them in this situation. And so some might criticize that, but I think that's a bold move of offering that bonus up front to get them back up here so you can get back to normalcy, and you also have things safe and patrolled because of the evil that some people do. So keep hanging in there. It's a pleasure and an honor to serve and keep battling for you. We got a lot more good things coming along, and so just keep smiling and keep those positive vibes going. All right. So, and the party in the park, that was awesome, right? Yeah, Monica. Did you all meet the llama there with the hat? Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're doing a lot of good things. And the high school football season, somebody was talking about, will be starting pretty soon. I'm still amazed at how Paradise kids, high school kids, through all that last year, placed in, I think, second and third in 2 different high academic standards, having been scattered out at a place out in the Chico Airport. And then I think 17 different sports that the boys and girls compete in. They got first or second place in league in 14 out of 17. I mean, you can't beat you folks, okay? Don't let them get you down. God bless you.
Okay, so one last piece of information. If you haven't checked out the makeitparadise.org website, the town has been working behind the scenes to make this the building resource site that you can go to for frequently asked questions, community resources. There's a building permit library. Anything you might need to know during the rebuilding process should live here. So if you want to go check it out, we urge you to do so. So on that note, we'll let these people get out of the light and head towards their tables in the back. So thank you so much for coming and all of the information.